Right now, shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has essentially flatlined. A fragile 2-week ceasefire is expiring, leaving this critical energy artery paralyzed. Meanwhile, 7,000 miles away in Washington, a packed Senate hearing room is deciding who will control the Federal Reserve and the world's largest economy. On paper, a standoff in the Middle East and a monetary policy debate on Capitol Hill belong in completely different news cycles. Yet both crises are being driven toward a breaking point by a specific set of ultimatums issued from the Oval Office. The strategy relies on setting strict, unforgiving deadlines and backing them up with public threats to force the other side to submit before the clock runs out. What we are watching this week is a real-time stress test. We are about to find out if foreign adversaries and independent American institutions can withstand this kind of pressure, or if they will crack. In the Gulf, the United States has enforced a naval blockade to suffocate Iran's oil exports. Overnight, U.S. forces even boarded and seized a sanctioned tanker in the Indo-Pacific. The president has made his demands clear. He will not extend the current ceasefire past Wednesday. If Iran doesn't agree to a deal by then, he expects to start bombing. The administration wants to force Iranian leaders to the negotiating table in Islamabad, Pakistan, leaving them to bargain with the U.S. delegation while under the direct threat of military strikes. In Tehran, officials are stalling. They haven't confirmed if a delegation will even show up, accusing the U.S. of bad faith and warning that their military is preparing to reveal new cards on the battlefield. This approach strips away the slow back and forth of traditional diplomacy. It corners the opponent into a stark choice: agree to the terms immediately or face a military assault. Back in Washington, the Federal Reserve is designed to operate independent of politics. Its primary jobs are to keep prices stable and maximize employment. But the White House wants current Chair Jerome Powell out before his term ends in May. The administration is even floating federal criminal investigations into the costs of renovating the Fed's headquarters. The president's chosen replacement is Kevin Warsh, and the executive demand here is just as blunt as the one overseas: cut interest rates immediately upon taking the job. Democratic senators are pushing back hard. Elizabeth Warren has publicly labeled Warsh a sock puppet installed to further the president's agenda. Sitting in the hot seat, Warsh is currently trying to fend off these attacks, repeatedly vowing to lawmakers that he will remain an independent actor if confirmed. Just like the foreign crisis, the central bank finds itself trapped. It has to choose between surrendering its autonomy or enduring a public siege from the executive branch. Both of these campaigns share a specific mechanism. The pressure is applied out in the open, using live television interviews and rapid-fire social media posts. This timeline shows exactly how it works. Public demands target the back channels, where diplomats usually find compromises. Look at the reaction times. Officials are forced to respond to new threats within hours, leaving them off balance and unable to formulate long-term strategy. The targets are left crying foul. Iran calls the ship seizures an act of armed piracy, while senators call the Fed nomination a gateway to corruption. But the complaints don't change the reality. The targets are frozen in place, forced to project strength for the cameras while staring down an immovable deadline. We are witnessing a synchronized test of the global order, playing out across two entirely different battlefields at the exact same time. If this pressure works, the administration secures a geopolitical concession abroad and economic stimulation at home. But if the bluffs are called, the consequences are stark. A failed ultimatum in the Middle East could trigger a regional war that chokes off international energy trade. At home, forcing the Federal Reserve into submission risks permanently politicizing the institution, opening the door for unchecked long-term inflation. The administration is betting that the threat of immediate collapse, whether military or economic, will force a total surrender from both Tehran and the Fed. The path of the American economy and the likelihood of a new regional war now depend on which side blinks before these clocks hit zero.